Dynamic wash, slides up the racetrack, loses momentum. Ryan Hunter-Reay past Tony Kanaan. Hunter-Reay up to 6th. Meanwhile, the lead up front continues to tighten. 12 laps to go. Aloshin running out of time. And Will Power with a much better car.
Big gap behind, big gap. Let's get after it.
You wonder what Mikhail Aloshin is feeling right now, but we know he seems to be calm and ready for any moment. And keep in mind, this is a driver that won the Formula Renault 3.5 championship a few years ago, and there was a Formula 1 driver, Daniel Ricciardo, in the field that year. And they didn't make any changes the last time. They did lose 3 positions on that pit stop, but that's because they needed a little more fuel than anyone else. They didn't take out downforce. The car has been pretty consistently good all day, and they think they might have something for Will Power.
Mikhail Aloshin, you call him the Russian rocket, Townsend. He needs to get that run off of 3, which he had earlier. The balance seems to have changed a bit. Will Power seems to be a little bit stronger off of 3 than Aloshin.
But I think Kevin's right. Aloshin looks so confident in his car, knowing what to expect. And here's Hunter-Reay on the rev limiter there. Just gets by Scott Dixon. Now can Hunter-Reay get back on the pace and catch Bourdais? I think he's got a good chance there. The question is, can he get to these 2 guys, Power and Aloshin?
Right now, they seem to be the class of the field.
I took Aloshin to meet Bill Vukovic at Indianapolis after he slid through turn 1 on one of his 5 qualifying attempts, and I said, this is the mad Russian, this is the son of the mad Russian. I said, this is the madder Russian, and they both said they're not mad at anybody and they like oval track racing, but I think Mikhail, I gave him a book about Indy, and he started reading it, and he said, I like this Vukovic guy. He led lots of laps.
Let me ask you this, Townsend. 9 laps to go. If you're Mikhail Aloshin, do you want the lead yet?
Well, you might if you run high again like that through turn 1, because Mikhail Aloshin got a big wash, a big handful of understeer, and had to pedal it. But I think that what Aloshin's doing here is just going to wait, maybe with 5 laps to go if I'm Aloshin, and then I make the pass on Power, who's been leading this whole time and might not be able to respond to the control adjustments it takes to run in traffic. But Will Power has a rocket ship, so does Aloshin, and they appear to be on their own right now with 8 to go.
Working lap 193, 192 down. They are continuing to pull away from Joseph Newgarden. Mikhail Aloshin had that slide up the racetrack last time by, lost a couple of tenths on Will Power, and it looks like Power able to pull a little bit out of 1.
And the other thing that Will Power wants to do here leading is to drive as wide a line as he can at corner exit and make it very difficult for Aloshin to find clean air. Back on board with Hunter-Reay. He's chasing down Sebastian Bourdais, who we have to applaud for hanging on to tires that are well over 40 laps. So that's a handful for Bourdais. It'll be very impressive if he can grab a top 5.
Oh, absolutely. If he can grab a top 5, he's only had one other one this year, and that was his win at Detroit. So big gamble on their part. They did not get to test here. He could tell he was frustrated. You saw him bottom out there as well in turn 1. That's what the problem was for Simon Pagenaud. And now Ryan Hunter-Reay trying to sneak by on the way to 2, and does.
So Hunter-Reay back up to 4th. Next car in front is Joseph Newgarden, about a second up the track. I think he'll have a chance to get close to Joseph. I'm not sure about the leaders.
Ryan Hunter-Reay sets his sights on Newgarden. Meanwhile, the battle continues up front. Aloshin perhaps content to run in 2nd right now as they work lap 195.
And right now, as we get towards the end of the tire stint here, you see the separation like we've seen earlier. It looks to me like Aloshin's really struggling to stay close here.
Looks to me like Will Power has got the better car off of 1 at this point in time. Pulls that gap in between 1 and 2. Will Power trying to win his 4th race of the season. Simon Pagenaud, the only driver in the field with 4 victories this year. Power, we know the championship is going to close down.
And if Power can win, it means 20 points separates him and Simon Pagenaud. We still have 3 races to go with double points at Sonoma. And it seems like we're always treated to such a great championship battle in IndyCar over the last several years. And Robin, this looks to be no different.
Well, and the double points are going to certainly give Newgarden maybe a prayer, because he's going to miss Texas this Saturday night. So it's Joseph's only shot is to win that last race, which pays double points.
Look at this.
Yes.
It only took 2 or 3 laps for Hunter Ray to close the gap. So that is really impressive. Let's see if he can make swift work of Newgarden. He's here to lift there. A lot of understeer, but we've seen that before. Hunter Ray's strong corner is turn 1, so he's going to try to regroup here, get the big arcing bite down to the apex of turn 1, see if he can get him going to 2.
Newgarden trying to stay on the podium, stay in the championship hunt. As Robin said, he'll not run at Texas. Hunter Ray with a good run off of 1. Doesn't seem to close much this time by.
We should tell people he's not running Texas because he's in a crash, and when they restart the race, his car won't be there.
Ryan Hunter-Reay closing a bit there.
Softening his front bar this lap, so he's thinking about the understeer I had previously, and there you see it works a little bit better. He gets down to the yellow line, so he softened the front roll bar. Let's see if he leaves it for turn 1. It looks like he will. But the leaders stretch the gap. Power and Alotion now 5 seconds out in front.
And more importantly, Power 0.7 of a second, and Ryan Hunter-Reay.
He had it going, and then he had to lift at the exit. Now, Newgarden just waved low. Is he coming to the pits, or what was that all about?
That's what
I think just trying to break the draft, but that was that was pretty dramatic. I
don't know. Now he's
back
doing it
and
again.
forth,
think he
trying.
might have an issue, maybe.
No. Trying to hold on to that podium spot.
Yeah, you're right. 2 laps to go. He's just trying to create havoc for Hunter-Reay in terms of the ability to suck up behind.
The driver able to move as long as it's not in response to the car behind him. So as long as Joseph Newgarden makes the move first, he's okay by the rules to do that.
And he keeps doing it in different spots on the track, trying to mix it up lap to lap, keep Ryan Hunter-Reay guessing. But it's not working. Here comes Hunter-Reay. Let's see if he gets a chance going to 3. Oh!
He's got the big run. Now looks to the low side,
Whoa.
gets the draft, drops down underneath, has the advantage, and takes the spot from Joseph Newgarden.
That was so close. Ryan Hunter-Reay's nose to Joseph Newgarden's left rear pod.
What a comeback drive by Ryan Hunter-Reay, but talk about coming back. They've worked on this number 12 all day long for Will Power. Came through the field twice. What a great run. Championship focus on his mind after the problems for Will Power. Looking for 29th win in his career is Will Power. Would be his 4th win on an oval. Will Power is going to close this championship down through turn 3 for the final time onto the front straightaway. Chevrolet, Will Power claimed the victory at Pocono.
Awesome day.
Great run by Michaela Lotion. Ryan Hunter-Reay put the problems behind. He comes home with a podium finish. Spectacular stuff. Pocono never disappoints. The racing here always absolutely spectacular. It's what we've seen all day long.
Awesome job.
You're watching NBC SN's coverage of IndyCar, brought to you by United Rentals, official equipment rental services provider of IndyCar and proud sponsor of Graham Rahal, and by Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road. We'll be right back to Pocono. For Roger Penske's team here at Pocono, reminiscent of a drive that Rick Mears would have put on, improving the car every pit stop and driving it to the front. Congratulations to Will Power, Jan.
And there's the Will Power salute. That has got to be such a gratifying day, Will. Early in the race, you could not work in traffic. The car just wasn't doing it for you. You stuck with it. Did you think at that point you'd be here today?
Well, yeah, it was so hard to follow in traffic because we started very light on downforce, and you know, we just kept adding and then adjusted on the car a bit. I mean, it was just awesome at the end. You know, it was very good in traffic, and you know, just got to thank Verizon, all the access they give the fans. Chevy engine was awesome. The body kit was obviously awesome. So, you know, it's been it's a very good comeback, very good comeback. Very, very happy to win here. You know, I love winning 500 miles, and this is one of the toughest ovals we race on. So, you know, really happy for Verizon and the whole team.
And I'm sure you're aware, the championship point leader, you saw that his car went back on the hook. He is A-OK, but that puts you within 20 points now in the championship.
Yeah, that's good. You know, we're chipping away.
19.733, so the United States